down so his drinking didn't put his body out of whack. None of which he did for himself. 3 trips to the hospital and the subsequent medical bills, which meant selling his old house, something I saw to, downsizing, something I also saw to, and putting up with his complaints he had about having to move, something I listened to, though the move part, I saw to, meant I kept coming back. Mom didn't get it. She'd washed her hands of him years ago, even before she did it legally with the divorce. But I simply could not do nothing and let my father die. And I knew this would happen if I did not manage his health and his life. I took his dishes to the kitchen, rinsed them, put them in the dishwasher, tidied, and headed back to the living room to remove the TV tray from in front of Dad. Then I was going to get my purse and go. "Hattie, it's just," he started in a much less ugly tone as I was folding up the tray. "Don't," I whispered. All these years he thought he could dig in and dig in and dig in because... whatever. He didn't like his job, he didn't like his marriage, he didn't like his health, he didn't like his life, so he took that out on his daughter? And then he has a think about what he'd said or what he'd done and realizes he'd been a jerk, so he decides he can say he's sorry and that will wipe away all that came before, like it didn't happen. It didn't wipe it away. It never got wiped away. A person was born clean, but I believed they died with the stains their parents gave them, even if they lived to be 102. I mean, seriously? He'd called me a whore. "I just wanted more for you, sweetheart," he said gently. I looked him right in the eye. I started with a tour Hachette down the center stage. It was massive. I was the first solo to go out. Ian wanted their attention, and I got it. He wanted to make a statement right off the bat. This was a change for Smithies, and I made that for him. And for Smithy, flying through the air in a titty bar. "I wish I'd seen it," he lied. "Well, I don't," I retorted. "Because you would have found something wrong with it, and you would have shared that with me, and I don't need that. Because I thought I was magnificent. And I probably was not, but at least it's nice to think I was, even if only for a little while." On that, I moved to my bag while Dad called, "Hattie." I said not a word. I walked right out the door. It was torture. Stupid, but after that conversation, I did what I shouldn't do. When I got in my car, I queued up Anya Marina's Shut Up on my iPhone, Bluetoothed it to the car stereo, and listened to it on my way home. Repeatedly. Doing this, playing the dance I'd choreographed to it in my head, and thinking about the look on Axel's face after I was done. That first dance, I danced for the first solo at Smithy's on opening night 5 nights ago when Smithy's Club became Smithy's Review. The dance was slow, avant-garde, my movements staccato. So when I'd do my double fouettes, arabesque turns, and the final grand jeté that was reminiscent of Kitri, it came as a shock to the system for the viewer. And by that time, I fancied they didn't care I was dancing in a red turtleneck bodysuit that had the thighs cut up nearly to my underarms. Even for the patrons of a strip club, it was about the dance. Days before that, when Dorian had cornered me, saying he wanted to see all the girls' routines so he could set the lineup, I'd performed it for him. Just him and me. And when I was done, he sat side stage at his uncle's strip joint that he was reforming into something else, and he did this immobile. "You didn't like it," I'd said, thinking the avant-garde part would be too weird for the gentlemen's club crowd, and I should go back to my first thought, pulling something together for Dancing Queen. "You're first," Ian had declared. "You're also last. If they see you first, they'll stay and drink until the lights go down on you." My heart had thumped hard at these words. "So you liked it?" I asked hesitantly. Ian stood to his impressive height and stated, "Hattie, you took something beautiful and made it cool. Sexy and cool." He nodded decisively. "You're first, baby. And your last. Every night." I loved that Dorian clearly enjoyed what I did. But I worried that this would make Lottie the current headliner and my friend...